Hey you! So today we're going to be talking about Digimon Adventure Tri number 5. First of all, if I look hot and sweaty, it's because England is having a huge heat wave at the moment and my house isn't kind of air conditioned. So it gets hot in this room really quickly. When you stand next to the window, dear God, it's good for light, but dear God, there is a lot of heat. So where do we begin with this review? So I'm going to be kind of talking about the main parts. This video will contain spoilers, so if you've not seen the video, make sure that you go back and watch the film, then come back and check out this video. But anyway, let's kind of carry on. Now, in this film, we leave pretty much exactly where we left off, with Genai strangling Mei to actually say, hey, come on Meikumon, I want you to destroy the digital world as I also want you to destroy the humans. When Meikumon actually transforms and she actually goes for Mei, the Digidestined save her, and basically Genai says that some stuff to kind of annoy them. You kind of know it's going to happen. In this film, we also find out a lot more of the backstory between Mei and Meikumon. We know how they're together, what kind of causes the effect of the chaos part, and we also find out that homeostasis, I think that's how you say it, is a part of Meikumon, and that's the reason why she's going crazy. She's the Dark Shard, but Mai obviously calms her down so she doesn't transform. Blah, 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 blah. So we know all this. Through this entire film, there is so much talking, and it's always sad and depressing talk, like, oh my God, I can't believe this happens. Do you think that she loves me still? You know, I haven't been able to help her. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it's really put me off the entire film. We also know that the portals that are happening all over the digital world, as well as Digimon going through into the real world, is causing lots of problems, such as the satellites around the world to kind of shut down, not connect, loads of little things like that. Everyone is getting really weird messages. The Digimon are just appearing. There's tons of them. This is very kind of alarming to like the military and stuff like that, but to everyone else it's like, yeah, Digimon are coming, woo, type thing. We see there's an entire segment of this which is very kind of like, oh, okay. Now I can't pronounce her name, but it's Hemkoa. I think I said her name right. Anyway, if I haven't, I'm sorry. But for some strange reason, as she's walking through the digital world now, she has weaponry on her. I don't know where this came from. I'm very confused on it. You know, first of all, she's got a giant kind of like shotgun, like laser pistol, and then later on she has a handgun. I kind of think that these parts didn't mean to be in it, because it seems that she's gone crazy. She's going like, oh, Tapiromon, where are you? Are we going to be friends, partners? And it's just very kind of weird. And if you took these parts out of the film, it would have been a lot better, but they're just kind of really creepy in them. We find out that homeostasis is the main bad guy. It was originally King Drazel, but this is the official name at the moment, or King Drazel was just a fake name or wasn't part of it. Then obviously we get more of the backstory, and I have to admit, it's kind of interesting to see Meikumon when she's alone. You know, she has to be with Mei all the time, and I would find that very kind of annoying after a while. But yeah, you find out that when Meikumon and Mei are together, they can't, or Mei calms Meikumon down quite a lot. And you see this happening as in like in the test facility, as Meikumon is destroying everything. Mei is there and she's like, you know what, what's happening? And Meikumon's like, hi, I'm back now, we're friends. Woo! That sort of stuff. And it's kind of nice, but I kind of would have liked to have seen this at the very beginning when we're being introduced to the characters, not kind of near the end of the film or where the film's going to end, I think in number 6. As the Digidestined are kind of walking through the digital world, or running through it, everything starts changing. The world will just literally just change the ground underneath them. Digimon come out of nowhere and start attacking. There are vines everywhere that just kind of grabs the Digidestined to kind of stop them. And they kind of bring up the theory of that the digital world hates the Digidestined right now. That is it. They want to like get rid of them. It's like they are the virus this time, and the world is kind of taking them out to try and push them away to kind of make itself pure. Now, when we get into this, it comes to a campfire scene, and this is when most of the talk happens. With Mei doesn't know what's happening with Meikumon. The fact is that she shouldn't be there. It's the same sort of thing. And this really put me off the entire film, where all the other films have kind of kept me engaged, and I'm like, yeah, I really want to watch this. And this one, I was like, I'll go do something else. I don't care. which is kind of like disheartening because now it's coming to the end of the film, or the film series. I kind of really wanted to be kind of like drawn in. There's so much action I really wanted to see, but I'm not going to see it at all, and that kind of really annoyed me. In the end, the Digidestined get sent back to the real world. They are plonked in the middle of the park, and everyone notices that they have Digimon. And for some strange reason, the police are after them. And they're like, "You've got Digimon, quickly arrest you!" It's just like, why? Just why? When they all get sent to the police station, we have one of the characters again, the teacher. He comes out and says, like, you know, just leave these kids alone. They're not your problems anymore. We need to kind of sort this out. And the police are like, well, no, they've got Digimon. They must be evil. We have to keep questioning them. And I'm like, oh, why did this part have to be in it as well? It's, you know, you could have had the Digidestined land in the park, and then that's when you have the teacher there waiting to say, hey, come on, you know, we need to make sure that you're okay, and then take them. They all go to the school in the end, and again, more talk, and this annoys me. This whole film kind of annoys me. The film, literally, you get near halfway, and it's the same tone. There's nothing that changes, and this kind of really upsets me because I wanted a faster tone. I know you can't always have a lot of action, but for the amount of stuff that you've had action-wise, there hasn't really been a lot like to keep you kind of engaged. I'd rather have had action halfway near the beginning, near the middle, and then kind of like wind it down. But so far, all of this is just the same sort of tone, and this really kind of made me go, oh, I'm a bit meh on this. Now, I've previously said in other videos that Agumon, as much as I loved him when I was younger, Agumon really annoys me in this. All he does is talk about food. That is it. Even at the most important parts, it's always like, Tai, I need to eat my food. I need food, Tai. Just, is this really nice food, Tai? You see it in the kind of when they're in the cave earlier, you know, no one wakes him up, but he's like, as soon as he hears the word share, he's like, have you got some tasty food to share? It's like, no. He's like, well, why did you wake me up? And I'm like, no one woke you up. But this is all the same thing, is Agumon constantly focuses on food. And as much as I am trying to get through the film, because I really like some of the parts, I really hate this part. And if I had just tuned in to watching this, I would have just skipped it and gone, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's just those little things that Agumon is so focused on that I actually just want him to eat so much that he just bursts, or he's like, I can't eat anymore. And people just shove food down his throat and says, no, you're gonna continue eating. You need to eat. And just fill him up so the part where he can't move, oh, it annoys me so much, like even thinking about it. And there's even a part where he's talking to Mei later on where Tai has messed up when talking to Mei, that Agumon just goes like, if you want something to eat, oh, do you want to go get something to eat? I'm hungry. And I'm like, it feels like when you watch Digimon when you're a kid, Agumon was this really cool character that you're like, yeah, you know, he didn't really care about food. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's going like, yeah, I'm really cool. And then now he's just, he's a comical character, which I generally really hate. Just don't like him in this one. You get kind of a break from everything where they're talking about ghost stories. And this I generally did like. It showed that there was kind of a lot of humor, a lot of bonding before we get to kind of more depressing talk. But I generally really enjoyed the ghost stories. Like even when Matt's like, yeah, I'm not scared of anyone, I'm not scared of anything, and then boom, all of a sudden he's like really scared at the end. I thought this was a kind of nice break. This I could understand if this was the main part and you didn't have the talks before where the Digimon just, or the Digidestined just like, oh, don't care. You kind of think that this would break up the fighting, the tension, because it's kind of humorous. As mentioned before, Tai then talks to Mei. He tries to calm her down, to try and talk sense into her, and this doesn't kind of work. Tai kind of wanders off. Agumon comes in again, talks about food. Again, very annoying. At 58 minutes, that's right, 58 minutes, the Digimon attack Mekumon, and they digivolve all of them at once, and it's a really cool kind of scene of where they're actually transforming. This is because Mekumon has actually now arrived at the school and wants to tear it apart. Yeah, it's a fight scene, and you think, yes, Finally, some proper action. Apart from maybe a few, it's like Wergarurumon and Metal Greymon. When they go straight to attack, all the others just kind of step about and go, oh, yeah, just gonna fly. We're gonna hover in the air and watch you attack. Oh. I know you can't really draw them all in doing stuff, but rather than having them float there, you think, yeah, I'm gonna come in and we're gonna attack, etc, etc, but no. But at least we get some action 58 minutes into the film. So Chessmon arrives, he comes out of the portal, and everyone's like, oh my god, who is this? And also we get fake Ken. I don't know why you're putting Ken in this. Also, what happened to the other Digidestin? Davis and all that, what happened to them? Like, you saw them at the very beginning, but now you don't see them? I hope that was all explained in the last film. We get kind of more action with Chessmon, and as the Digidestined are running towards the battle, Homeostasis takes over Kari and explains that the world is going to be erased, that the Digidestined didn't do their job, blah blah blah, etc etc. Kari is like, no, you can't, give me my body back, get out of my head, etc etc. And they kind of start having a shouting match at each other, where Homeostasis is like, nope, not gonna do a thing. Then all of a sudden, Alphamon, he just arrives and you're like, okay? So like huge battles kind of go on. I really actually generally like this because it actually felt like the progression that I actually really wanted. And there's like meant to be tons and tons of like battles, everything going on. Like we also have Meicoomon, she actually transforms again. And you don't kind of see it. I just kind of think she gets knocked back and then just transforms straight away into a kind of more powerful state, because everything kind of starts disappearing around her, like she's erasing it all the time. Again, as I mentioned, we have the girl at the very beginning. She goes crazy looking for Tapirmon and just has a handgun for no reason. Again, this scene did not need to be in the entire film, I think, and I just kind of really wish that even in the previous one, when Tapirmon's like, keep away from me, I don't know you, she should have gone, okay, I'm going back to the normal world, rather than going absolutely crazy. And oh, it kind of really irritates me a lot. Out of all of this, Mei turns around and says that she wants Meicoomon to die, that she can't get through to her anymore, she can't calm her down, so the only course of action is to kill her, let her die. The Digidestined have now jumped through a portal that Meicoomon created, and she chased Chessmon and I think Alphamon into it. And Omnimon, he has now been summoned to kind of help everyone and keeps the portal open, so the Digidestined jump in and they come to the desert. At this point, Mei has actually now said that she wants Meicoomon to die. She can see the destruction, she can't get through to her anymore, so she needs to be destroyed, and that's the main mission. Everyone's like, no, you can't do this, your partner. It's like, oh god, you've seen the destruction that happens. I know you don't want to lose your friend, but your partner, your friend has just said, hey, this is the only way to stop this. This needs to happen. But everyone's like, no. But then Tai, he's like, actually, yeah, this needs to happen. Matt's like, no. And they've gone back to them being enemies or frenemies or whatever. And I really just want Matt just to go on a full-on brawl to get all his anger out, because I'm sick and tired of seeing this all the time. I don't want Matt to be continuously angry. I want him to be kind of calm and understand. But he's like, nope, I've got to make sure that all the Digimon are safe. I'm like, oh, it gets me angry. The fact that if I was there with him, I'd be like, Matt, just shut up. And just, if he was like, no, I'd be like, all right, I'm sick and tired of you, Matt. The Digimon are fighting. They're going all in, which is absolutely fine. But Chessmon is doing this attack that just reminds me of Tien. But then Alphamon just comes out of nowhere and sucker punches him or moves him out of the way. But that means that Chessmon's beam just goes down and destroys the entire area. Which then obviously leaves a crack, and Tai falls down it. He then says that he doesn't want them to fight anymore. Oh, which is it's just so confusing. It's like, yeah, fight, no, yes, no, yes, no, and that's it. And I'm like, come on, Seriously, just sort your stuff out, agree on a plan. Don't get all like, oh no, the Digimon may get hurt, because they're fighting for you. Oh, I'm getting angry. And that's it. Just kind of like come up with a plan and all agree. If all you go like, no, we need to keep them safe, then do that. Don't just go off and say, actually, no, I want it instead, and they're going to go and attack. I'm going off topic. As Tai falls down the crack where he's trying to save Mai and Matt, he tells Omnimon to actually protect them rather than go for him. Omnimon agrees and protects them and moves them out the way, but Tai falls straight into the kind of crevasse and you don't see him. He will obviously pop up later on. But at this point, all the other Digimon have kind of like gone back to almost like their first stages or the kind of rookie levels. Kari doesn't know what's happened to Tai. She kind of goes like, Tai, where are you? And kind of starts walking towards it. But then she gets kind of infected with something, which then passes over to what would have been Gatomon. And Gatomon transforms into a completely different Digimon. I want to say Selfiemon or something, but it's completely different. So I've had to quickly like Google search it. She turns into Ophanyanmon, I think I said, or Ophanamon, which is her kind of celestial Digimon, which, to be honest, looks really cool. But with her turning into this ultimate form, she kind of fuses with Meikumon as well, which is she's named something different, but they kind of like fuse together to make this kind of really weird gloopy thing, which I generally thought you'd get a cat girl. I was completely wrong, and it actually turned to be kind of really creepy. So apparently it's Wranglemon, which obviously fuses with Ophanyanmon, which, it just creates something completely different. If you know the name, let me know down below in the comments, because I couldn't find the name, and they don't actually say it, I don't think. So let me know down below in the comments. What I did like is, before moving on, is Kari actually just turns around and says, end it, do it, fight it. And I generally didn't imagine her saying it, telling them to go for it, just full on attack, you know, or just end, ultimate, whatever. It was very kind of weird. So with this new Digimon, it actually like turns bigger. It's got massive wings type things, and it just kind of goes into the atmosphere. And we know that this is the destruction. Either it's going to be the destruction of the human realm, or you're probably going to guess the digital world, or humanity is just going to be wiped out very, very shortly. And then it kind of comes to an end. Now I like the end part, because this really kind of spoke out and said, hey, you know, we're leaving this on a cliffhanger. So now we've done all that, let's quickly talk about the writing. This was very slow and very boring of the writing. I generally would have thought now we would get more in depth rather than going back to characters and learning about the past, as well as having the depressive talk. Kind of thought that would have been done much earlier on, rather than it just be the same thing over and over again. It kind of feels like now you're trying to move it to the end game of the film, but you've just gone back on yourselves just to be like, hey, we need a little bit kind of filler. So we're now going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about our feelings, and I generally didn't like it. Them all feeling sorry for themselves, that could have been completely left out. We know what's going on. We've seen it in the very first film, in the second film. This could have been done and much touched on at the very beginning, and then kind of wheeled out completely. But for now, it just kind of really kind of got to me and made me want to go do something else. And if I wasn't kind of invested in the films, if I had just seen this for the first time, I would have turned off. I would have just gone, I'm not bothered with this. Mainly Agumon on this one. Agumon always wanting to eat is now boring. It's not the comedy element of, oh, that Agumon. It's more, we know that you like food, but this is not the time to be constantly asking for food, constantly thinking about food. And then obviously when you had this really big statement of Mai needed someone to talk to, Agumon just ruined it and was like, if you got any food, let's go eat. I could understand if it was in the other one, but now it felt very kind of boring, and I generally get angry, hence my rant earlier. It generally got me angry just actually talking about it and rethinking it. So they really need to lay this off, or they could have had it at the very end where he's just like, I want to eat all the food, and that's it. I've noticed this in other films, that the action always happens near the end, and I'm getting kind of bored of that. I'd like to have more action. So if there was a 7th film, I don't know if there is or isn't, let me know down below in the comments, but if there was a 7th film, I'd want the 6th film to really focus on the fighting, the action. We've gotten to the stage where we know about the bad guys, we know what's going to happen, but we really need that kind of fighting ability to kind of hold your attention, rather than it's just being small little fight snippet, about an hour's worth of just talking and being kind of like doubting yourself, which just infuriates me at this part of the film where we're meant to have a lot more action, but what we're getting is just kind of talking all the time. The girl Himekawa, whatever her name is, having weapons, like, she didn't have them with her as far as I saw, but she has them, and I don't know what she's using them for. If she's trying to protect herself in the digital world, maybe she should have gone with the Digidestined rather than just kind of wandering about being like, are you here? Oh no, we need to be friends again. I need to be your partner. Will I be a Digidestined now? That whole thing didn't need to be in it, and she could have been helping the Digidestined, and her reward at the end is that Tapirmon comes to her and is like, hey, I kind of recognize you, do you? Yay! And then they become friends, rather than her wandering about, because if she gets stuck in the digital world, I don't think she'll be coming back. As I mentioned before, I found the writing very boring. I didn't think that this should have been a film. I think that they should have changed the writing, even in Japanese, if they've gone down this route, and said, no, we need to kind of really fix this. So I kind of got really bored with it. So let's talk about the animation very quickly. It's absolutely fine. I didn't see anything bad with it. I generally really liked it. And I thought it was on par with all the others, and there's nothing really changed. And again, the characters, let's talk about that really quickly. All the characters were absolutely fine, bar Matt, who just constantly wants to fight Tai. I think they should just really fight each other and just get out this testosterone that they've got going. Like, Matt, you want to be the leader? Fine. Bam! You know, just full on, just go and get all this anger out, because this is very, very boring. And Matt really needs to either take a chill pill, goddamn, I'm old, or just kind of like let things go. But, and of course May, who just, those are the two characters I was not kind of really happy about. What made this interesting for me? Well, to be honest, not a lot made this interesting for me whatsoever. The story I found very dull. The characters at this stage I found very dull, and I wanted them to turn around and actually develop as the story goes on. We've seen a lot of character development originally, but this I just was not a big fan of. My final thoughts. I thought that the film could have been written better. I think that at the drawing board, when they looked at the story, they could have gone, yeah, we'll change this, we'll change that. There was so much self-doubt in this film that it really got boring really, really quickly. You could see that the Digidestined were trying to cheer up May, but as soon as she was cheered up, she went straight back into this, and I just generally think that all they want to do is just cuddle their Digimon and just go like in a small room and just go, I'm not letting you go, and that is it. And that really irritates me. Even when the Digimon are like, I want to go, it's like, no, you're staying here, and just cry into them, just cry into them. This generally got me really angry, and I'm getting angry thinking about it. But if this is the point where this is where the show or the films are going to go from now on, I generally want them to get rid of it, and I would probably stop watching if they brought out more Digimon films and this was the same thing, just crying into the Digimon and cuddling them all the time. The backstory could have happened much earlier on rather than now. I feel like we met May, we met Meikumon at the very beginning, and this could have been easily told much earlier rather than saying, oh, yeah, let's have it near the end of the film. You know, I can understand that now you know why she is, but you could have addressed this much earlier on. Again, hating Agumon wanting food all the time. Just overfeed him. Just overfeed him, or make him hate food later on. Like, I can't eat that, and just, I'm not going on about it. Now, if you wanted this as a standalone, I would skip this. If you're doing it for your collection, wholeheartedly get it, because it's nice to actually have them all, and again, like, just the story progressing. But for me, this is one of the worst Digimon films that I've seen, or part of the saga that I just generally didn't like. and I really wish it could be changed, but obviously I'm hoping that the next part is going to be absolutely stunning and it's going to be amazing. So Rangers, what are your thoughts on this? Do you like the idea of this Digimon film? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know down below in the comments, and what would you change? Would you agree with everything I said, or do you disagree? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check out all the other videos on the channel if you want to have out on Patreon. Links in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.